and how are you all this afternoon? I hope you're all well, and I hope you're all getting the lovely warm weather that we're getting at the moment. I was very lucky yesterday and got to spend the bulk of the day on the beach and swimming in the sea and lying out on the sand to dry off and getting back in the water. It really was good. There was a bit of a wind about, but a windbreaker soon sorted that out. So I'm popping on today to talk to you or show you two books and two decks that have arrived. And one of them, if Simon from the Hermit's Cave is watching this, one that I've been waiting on for so long. I think Methuselah was a baby. Right, which one is that? Finally arrived. Thank you for the link, by the way, Simon, to someone that was selling one, but I had this on an order. I was giving it a short chance to arrive, and it arrived this week. Now, I have already looked through it. In fact, I did start to make a video, but got distracted, so here I am now. I'll do a walkthrough. I know many people have already seen this, but it's one that I'm just going to have a look at and tell you what I like, and if there's anything I don't particularly like, tell you that too. Right, the Star Tarot comes in a beautiful box. It really is lovely. The cover feels gorgeous, but it's got a lovely spine, and I like the way that's done. It's very book-like and would sit lovely on a bookshelf. That image of the hermit I adore, and I do feel that would make a remarkable forearm tattoo. Watch this space. I am Tarot Tats and Tea after all. So let's see what it says. This is a deck created by Kathy McClelland, and it's Our Path to Self-Discovery Through Cosmic Symbolism. This is the second edition of this deck. I haven't got the first, and I haven't seen the first. I believe it had thicker borders, or thick borders anyway. So, let's see. By using 78 stunning cards and a detailed guidebook, you'll gain even deeper understanding of this world and beyond by recognising and reconnecting with your soul's purpose and inherent gifts. Created for all readers, this book and card deck offer a heightened mythology for deeper connection to your inherent gifts and the true purpose of your soul. Explore new sections linking numerology with the major arcana as you reveal your lifetime personality, along with astrological references, 3 added spreads, and larger artwork on the cards. So they've taken the border away. Explore this indispensable tool seeking infinite personality possibilities, spiritually, emotionally, mentally and physically. Stars are full of miracles and magic. Bring the beauty of them into your life and into your heart. I really like that blurb on the back of the box. And that quote is on the underneath here too. Stars are full of miracles and magic. Bring the beauty of them into your life and into your heart. I love stars, and I've had a star, well, we had a couple of stars actually named after my dad. My friends presented me with one, and my sister's friends to her, and my aunt for my mum, which is lovely. So you've got 3 stars named after him. Let's have a look. Oops. Now, this is the only thing about these boxes. We get a card stuck underneath, and it can be a little bit of a pain in the posterior removing it. Now, look at the gilding on that. Lovely gold gilding. Oops, sorry, just hit the microphone. Sorry if I deafened you all there. And look at the backs. Aren't they beautiful? Well, we'll get to see a little more of these in a minute. We'll just have a quick peek at the book that comes with it. The Star Tarot. There's no writing on the back. The cover's a nice glossy cover. Same sort of thing on the front of the cover. It says on the box. And right, there's quite a lot in here. We have the Star Second Edition, a nice title page by Red Feather, a dedication. We then have the contents page, the major arcana, the minor arcana, the court cards. And what I'm just noticing now, in the minor arcana in the book, they're not by suit, but they're by number. So you get all the aces together, all the 2s, all the 3s, etc. There's acknowledgements, and then we have a foreword by Mary K. Greer, somebody else whose books I absolutely adore. There's a particular workbook that I do like, and that's Tarot for Yourself, and I have been using that for a long time, and it's one that you pick up now and again to work through. You know, it's not something you continue and continue on, but you can do. It depends on your mythology, but methodology, I should say. And for myself, it's one that I pick up, work out what I want, or I use it for a reference book. It's really, really nice. So I'll read that forward later. We have a preface, and then an author's note about the card's interpretations. And we'll just see what she has said about that. In the interpretations of the majors and the minors, you will notice that I have not included copy about the reverse position. With each card interpretation, I have included the positive and the challenging aspects. However, not to confuse things, there is one card that I felt could be read either way, and that is the Two of Swords. That being said, if one prefers to read the card both upright and reversed in a layout, the challenging aspect of the card can become a bit more highlighted. Ultimately, your intuition will guide you to the best way to use these cards. Absolutely. So the major arcana, and we start off with the Fool. So what I like is the card is in full colour, and then it gives quite a lot of information on each card. We start off with a chat about the Fool, and then the symbolism of the Fool's image. You've got the crystal on the journey, you've got the 8-pointed stars, the butterfly, the staff, morning glories, crocodile, raven. It picks out everything and gives you exactly what each thing means, which I think is really, really good. It gets you to look at the card in more detail rather than just going, oh right, this is the Fool, and sort of regurgitating basic knowledge that we understand of the Fool. It's getting to you to look at the different symbols, breaking them down, analysing them, and creating a much deeper, in-depth reading. I don't know about many of you, but I have been to a reader who was just regurgitating everything that had been written in the small white book, just keywords and trying to put sentence to it. It was a very, very stuttered reading, and I was a little bit disappointed, to say the least, because it wasn't as though it was cheap to go and have this reading done. However, I did, and I didn't enjoy it at all. It was just so shallow and so negative. The reading itself wasn't negative, it's the way the cards were read was not great. We're not to knock everybody. I know we don't knock the readers as such. It's not that I'm knocking the reader, it's that the fact that the reader didn't use her intuition. It was just basically trying to string together a sentence from words. So I then realised that this person clearly hadn't been reading tarot for too long and was still really learning how to connect with her intuition herself. And it wasn't a great experience. So when you look at something like this, when a creator has gone to this level and this depth to show you how to get more from your card, to look at every aspect, every nuance, what way is a figure standing? Is the person looking down, looking to the left, looking to the right, looking up? What is it? What are they looking up? Is there a card above this person in the layout? What is that card saying? Is it being enhanced or attention drawn to it more because it's above the character that's looking up? That sort of thing. Look at every aspect of the card, of the characters in the card, of all the symbols in the card. Get yourself familiar with what the different symbols mean, and you will be so amazed at how your tarot reading really does take off in a wonderful way. The minors equally are split up into this, are the same things being done, but with the minors, what I also like, have they got this with the majors actually? No. With the minors, we have the astrological sign. So for this, we've got the 8 of Cups here. So astrological, Neptune in Pisces, and it gives you the degrees, and it's mutable, fire and mutable fire. The first decante, will and body, verity, lunar cycles, lunar eclipse, keywords, seeking truth and moving on. So it gives you everything, and if you're not familiar with astrology, you can then research that. It gives you another rabbit hole in which to dive back into. And then after we've done that, let's have a look. Oh, it goes into yearly growth symbols. oh my goodness, there's quite a lot in here. Work interpretations, yearly growth symbols, how to determine your yearly growth symbol, how to find your lifetime birth personality and soul card in the tarot. And I think we have, did it say something about spreads at the end? We'll have a look. Let me see. Oh yes, we've got some spreads at the end here. Tarot spreads, some helpful hints, yes, no spread, the focus spread, and the destiny spread. Oh, the destiny spread looks really interesting. I may try that one. So, that's the book. Now let's look at this beautiful deck. So, the card quality is lovely. It's not overly pliable. It has that lovely sturdiness to it, and it is by Red Feather, so it's a, you know, it's a good quality card. It's nice and smooth, cardboardy. So we have our Fool. I'm just going to flip through these quickly. We have the Magician, and I like the yin and yang on the Magician's altar, the altar cloth. The High Priestess. And then we have the Empress. And I love this Empress card. It's just so, you know, she's really surrounded by nature and everything she loves and everything loves her. It's beautiful. It's on the corner of my card. This. The only thing is, it's tipping where it's been cut. On the bottom right-hand corners, they turn up. So I'm wondering if this has been dropped at some point. And the corners, yes, it's on all of them, the corners just turning up somewhat. I'm certainly not sending it back for that little thing, but the thing is, it took so long to get here, I wouldn't chance sending it anywhere. There you go. That's the Emperor. And do you know, the Emperor and the Empress look very similar in their stance. Look like an old married couple, you know. Isn't that lovely? You can see that they're together, so to speak. Husband and wife. We have the Hierophant. There's a lot of rainbow colours in this, which I love. Now, in the Hierophant here, he has got sort of a maze in front of him. I'll read more about that. And there are like rune stones with symbols on. We've got the elements on there. We've got moons. We've got some Hebrew alphabets and other symbols. In fact, when you look through it closely, you'll find symbols hidden on the animals with him as well. Well, don't think you'll see it so clearly on that because this camera is cruddo. Then we have the Lovers, and my favourite in that card are all the butterflies. Beautiful, beautiful butterflies. The Chariot. The Chariot is pulled by two Pegasus, a black one and a white one, and again it's like they've had symbols tattooed onto them in gold. It looks amazing. Again, you can't see them there, but with the naked eye it looks great. Strength, beautiful, and again a lot of symbols on the tree. I hope you can see them. I don't think you can if I, no, it goes too dark. Sorry that my camera is so crap. Didn't realise, and I knew it was getting bad, but it seems to be getting worse. Here we have the Hermit, our man off the box. It's beautiful. The Wheel of Fortune. More, well, I'm not going to keep saying it, but there's symbols in literally every card, and the more you look, the more you find. Do you know, these cards, yes, they're tarot cards, but you know, they'd also be great for meditating with the tarot. You could actually step into some of these pictures, particularly like the Lovers or the Empress. The Hanged One, and this has actually got the Hanged One, it's not the Hanged Man. Now, I really like this Death card. Death doesn't have a face in this. He's wearing the rose sort of emblem on a clip on his robe. In his hand he's holding a golden orb, which is almost like life's light. We have a phoenix coming up, which is, you know, something rising from the ashes, that some great change has occurred and something new is being reborn. But then we have somebody that looks like they're diving over the top of death, and it's almost like they've gone off, spirit's gone, and they're rising again from the ashes in the form of the phoenix. It's almost like they're making an egg shape rebirth, you know, growth, rebirth, change, and it's really quite stunning. Have the moons in there. Temperance. I love the abundance of colour in this deck. I do love decks with lots of bold colours. Lots of rainbows and things in this. The Devil. This is some Devil card, to be honest. Again, the Devil card isn't one that I particularly like. Nobody particularly likes that, I don't think. Except if you're looking at the Light Seers and you think, do you know what, you are a handsome devil. But this one here is so full of symbolism, and I'm seeing more even now. I looked at these earlier, I'm sorry. Sam, come on out, or Sally. Sam, come from behind there. How in the name of God did you get under there? You could get stuck, you silly boy, and I wouldn't be able to move that to get you out. Don't do that again. Sorry, Sam has just decided to crawl under my bureau, and he's bigger than the space that he got into. No, no, down you go. Go and play with Sal. Go and find Sally. Sorry about that. So here we are. There's the Devil. Here's Sally on the chair behind us. The Tower. The Star. The star's really pretty, really beautiful. It's almost like she's sort of stepping into a pool, as opposed to just that sort of, you know, you sometimes see like a shallow water, but she's got one foot in the toe in the pool. But it looks like it's, you could almost scry in the pool. It looks so beautiful. There you go. The Moon card, lovely card. Look at the path going through the woods. Follow that path. Pity it's not as clear as this here. There's a path going in. All this is forest, and it's bringing you out on a road leading into the distance. You have two ravens down here, and there's a lobster coming, or crayfish coming out of the water here. And then of course you have the black and white wolves howling at the moon. And this has the phases of the moon on the towers either side. We have our Sun card, which is not too bad of a sun card with a baby in it. I love the floral design within the sun. We've got symbols all the way around, oh no, the butterfly, sorry, all the way around. And then we've got the yin and yang, and even symbols on the wings of the butterfly that you see in there. Stunning. Then Judgment. And again, I'm looking at these cards for the second time, showing you, and I'm seeing more. Yeah, I didn't even notice the bear in it earlier on. The World. And once again, so many symbols. And now we're going to fly through the different minors. We're starting off with wands. I'm going to just hold them like this. Like that Four of Wands. I do like that Four of Wands. All this up here with the sunflowers are loads of fruit, and it's almost like the bears have reached the land of milk and honey. It's just really gorgeous to look at. Five of Wands. 6. 7. That's very blurry, that. You can't even see the person in that. There you go, I can hold it a bit closer. 7. the 8, 9, 10. Oh, Prince of Wands. Jeez, this is lovely. It's really gorgeous. They've got like a, it looks like a rainbow flag with all symbols all over it. Butterflies, flowers and symbols. Got the elements. Gorgeous. Knight of Wands. Queen of Wands. And our King of Wands. I like the King is such a strong looking individual, very sort of handsome looking, because he's quite striking looking actually. Full of symbols all over his clothing, but a lovely big dragon on his insignia, and 2 lovely looking lions. I love lions. Now our next one, our next suit is Cups. Oops. Sally, what are you doing? Here we have the Ace, the 2, 3, 4. I like this suit in this deck. 5. See the eyes at the bottom there, sorry. Oh no, no, they're not eyes. I was hallucinating. 6. 7. 8. 9, 10, 'Princess of Cups. So we had a prince in wands, we've got a princess in cups. So we're a little bit, we're not, although we're sticking to royalty and royalty names, like we don't have sort of all princes. We've got a prince so far and a princess. We have our knight, our queen, and our king. Now these look quite blurry to me when I'm seeing them back on the screen. I hope they're not that blurry for you, because they're such crystal clear images that it's such a shame you're not getting the full benefit that I'm getting here. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Next is Pentacles. I love that in the tree. It looks like a spider web, doesn't it, in the tree? It's gorgeous. Our 2 of Pentacles. 3. 4. 5. 6 of Pentacles, 7, 8, and in that we've got the phases of the moon as well. 9 is beautiful, as is 10. The family in here is gorgeous, and the mother of this little family reminds me of either Sleeping Beauty that's been woken up by her handsome prince, or Rapunzel. Just look, I wish you could see that as clearly as me. I wonder, just bear with me to try something just for a second. Let's see if this works. Let me just see if this works. Oops, sorry. No, you're getting, there, if I put it like that, it's that bit better. I don't know why it's so dark without, it's madness. You can see she's got long blonde hair going down her back. Oh, handy phones are, eh? Then we have our prince. Oh, another princess. So that one was a prince, wasn't it? Or did I read it incorrectly? It seems strange that we're changing it. Let me just go back and have a look at wands. Prince of Wands, yeah, definitely a Prince of Wands. They've got a Princess of Cups and a Princess of Pentacles. A Knight, Queen, and King. And finally, we're in the Suit of Swords. Wow, it's like breaking through the glass ceiling, which is it could very much resemble, because it's you know, coming on top out of a battle, and when you're breaking through those glass ceilings, that is a battle. Our Two of Swords. You can see how she could be read anyway. Beautiful. 3. This one you can actually feel the sort of heartache in this, and the tears you've got coming down. You know, it's really lovely. Then you've got the 4 of Swords. You've got somebody lying in with little badgers or something looking over them, or bears, protecting them while they're having their rest, taking their time out. 5, 6, 7, 8. It's hard to know which way to hold with this camera as well. 9, 10, Prince. Ah, another prince. Another prince. Ah, we've got the colour of the elements on his robe. Knight, the Queen, and the King. So that's the Star Tarot, and I'm looking forward to trying out some of the spreads that come in the book. I think they will be quite interesting, particularly that last spread I was looking at. The next deck is the Tarot Vintage. Now I'm not going to go through all this because it's the RWS images, as we know, just going to show you how they've been aged to look sort of old, vintage. And here we go, to show you a couple of them. Now, if you recall, I've shown a deck not that long ago that had been aged. It is lovely, the other deck, as is this one. I do prefer the other deck because I like the darker colours. But as you can see, this looks like it's been stained, like it's aged. It's been lying in somebody's, you know, bedside cabinet or on a desk drawer or something. It really is nice the way it's been done. On the back of this particular deck, we have the old the rose and lilies, and it really is gorgeous. And that's a Los Scaribo produced, Los Scaribo standard card stock, and a little vintage book that comes with it, and that's in a 2-part box like that. So those are 2 decks that I want to share with you. I'm just quickly going to go on and show you a couple of books that I've been working, well, one that I've been working with and one that's just arrived. Now, I did get myself a nice new notebook to work with the current book that I'm looking at. I can't get that blooming piece of horrible sticker that someone's put on because it tears the gorgeous cover underneath. So that's irked me a little bit. Doesn't take, you know, I don't get irked a lot, but when things like this happen, I think, who was the dumb person that stuck that right in the blooming front cover? Anyway, enough about what's annoyed me. Let's see what's brought me joy. The Rebel Witch by Kellyanne Maddox. I'm actually working my way through this book and I'm really enjoying it. I came across this on when Will from Atypical Tarot was showing it, and I was watching and listened to what she had to say about the book, and then I did a bit of research, had looked, and I thought, do you know something, I really like that. Now, I was having a chat a while ago with Becca from Becca Talks and Tarot, and we were discussing, you know, different things about ourselves, And I was telling Becca the sort of little ritualistic things that I do that's just part of my everyday, such as, you know, saging. Um, if somebody's called to the house, for instance, and they might have not been in the best frame of mind and just wanting a chat, when they've gone, I've saged the place just to, that, you know, they've been able to offload, having a chat, but I don't want the negativity remaining in the house. So I do stand at my front, oh dear God, sorry, I do stand at my front door and I slough off the negativity. People must think, oh, there's a bloody odd bod living next door, but they're always out there brushing their arms after someone's left. I do brush out, I sage all around my room, I sort of gather everything in the corners and push it out to the door, push it out the window, and then sage around, and it's just me, it's what I do. I love to forage, I collect my wild garlic, I create wild garlic pesto, I make tea with dandelions, I pick the dandelion leaves when the garlic's out of season and make dandelion pesto. I love getting berries and nuts, all this sort of thing, and then there would be other little things I do, like writing things down, put them in my little, I have a little a little iron cauldron, and I burn them. If it's something like, if I've got all these stress and strains, write them on the piece of paper, tear the piece of paper up, put them in, set fire to them and let them go. You know, I always do that outside, because if you're letting them go inside, you're just letting the negativity that come from everything you've written off remain in that room. If it's a cruddy day outside, I open the window and I put it on the windowsill, I burn them on the windowsill, and I send the smoke out, and I often use my feathers that I've got to just get rid of them. And I think Becca asked me, would I have considered myself a witch? Well, then, no. Now, do I? Is it a title that I'd give myself? I don't know. However, I'm still not sure. However, this book, working through this, it's defining the word witch. How do you define it? Is what do you do? Are you comfortable with the word witch? I'm not uncomfortable with it. I'm not comfortable with it. I don't have really if people want to call me a witch, I'm sure they've called me a heck of a lot worse in the past, but you know, I'm not worried, and I know people have seen me as eccentric, and they wouldn't be wrong. And would I take it as an offence if they said, oh, that woman's a bit of a witch? I know she does make spell bottles, she does have protection bottles, she does give them as gifts to neighbours and people that she, you know, likes. And she's a little bit odd. Well, if enjoying that sort of practice makes me a little bit odd, then bring it on. Bring it on, because, you know, I love it. It makes me feel complete, it makes my day feel complete, and it's an interest that I have. I enjoy taking part of little bits and bobs, that when I did a course on shamanism and using that, calling in the guides from the four compass points and putting a circle of protection around my home. Yes, I do all that. Why? Because I believe it does work, and I believe it makes me safe, and my family safe, and those I love safe. You know, it's just me, and that's what I like about this. This gives you not like a step-by-step guide on how to be a witch. No, it's looking and analysing you, analysing why we do this, or what do we do it for, and you taking that title of witch and making it yours in your own way, not necessarily following the rules and regulations of a particular coven here or there, but being you and your practices and making them yours, making your way of working just special for you, for anybody else, for you. And that's why I bought this workbook, because in this, as I'm going through and doing the exercises, I'm actually enjoying doing the exercise. I wrote this in the very beginning, before this book had actually arrived. I knew this notebook was going to be used for this, and this is what I wrote. As I progress along this road, taken in colours bright and bold, basking in nature, earth, water, fire and sky, a beauty to behold before it's time to fly. Find a smile every day in whatever occurs. Find a positive light when life's in reverse. Spread happiness and love, kindness and care. Feel the touch of the angels as they stroke your hair. For we are here for such a short time. Our lives are to be lived, both yours and mine. so mote it be. And that is what starts my book, my notebook, my workbook, whatever you want to call it. And just, if ever I'm showing notebooks again, I am a doodler. I do doodle, and whilst I'm reading, I'm doodling, and this was my decoration for the start of this. And the first activity is write it. And it's, what are the various reasons that someone might be fearful or uncertain about claiming the word witch for themselves? How are you feeling about the word witch at this point in your life, and why? In your opinion, what does it mean to be an authentic witch? And of course I've written the questions out and I've answered them, and then to create a timeline of my understanding of the word witch. And I started from the year I was born. So from the year I was born, no understanding. From 2 to about 6, a scary lady dressed in black, terrified as a kid in our town. Terrified us as kids in our town, she rode a large 3-wheel bike and screamed a lot. Local kids believed her to be a scary witch. Witches were to be feared. Sort of round about 6 to 17, witches and fairy stories, mostly bad, e.g. Hansel and Gretel, Bad Witch and the Wizard of Oz, Sleeping Beauty, etc. Then, sort of, at the age of, in about 1984, started to dabble with tarot, and this grew with me to now, okay. Then, in 2000, whilst I was teaching, I was introduced to the Harry Potter series, and I read them to my class, and I fell in love with witches. At the age of 34, work and life took over. No real understanding or knowledge of witches as such. At the age of 49, diagnosed with cancer, took early retirement. Tarot really took off and witchiness practices began. My understanding changed. Healthy practices, herbs, herb works, oils, loving nature, life to be enjoyed and not endured, became a total tarot lover, practitioner, reader. Witchiness began to grow, and I embraced it. So I wrote then, as a lifelong bookworm, nerd, eccentric, I embrace me, my interests, my life. I have no problem being considered as different, and if that means being called a witch, I will wear that badge with pride. So, Kelly Ann Maddox, thank you for this book. I don't know if you'll ever see this video, but if you do, I'm loving it. I really am. Thank you. Now, the last book, this arrived today, and this book I came across when I was watching Ethany talk about 10 of her favourite books, and this was one that I had looked at in the past but never sort of went to buy it as such. But when she sort of went through it and talked about it, I thought, you know something, that would just enhance my library. And when I was reading through it, I thought, well, do you know something, this really is good, because if I just say, let's have a look here. So if you say, look at the Page of Wands, there's, first of all, the intention of the Page of Wands, a mantra for the Page of Wands, and then when the Page of Wands appears in a reading, it's time for you to allow inspiration to lead the way, and it goes into in-depth details. Let's have a look. We then have, still continues, if the page appears in a challenging position, again it goes into detail. Example of how this card might manifest in your life overall, in career related readings, in relationship readings, in other possibilities, and examples how this card might manifest as a challenge. Again in relationship readings, in other possibilities, and then questions to consider when this card appears. So there's so much more than just a bog standard set of keywords, and that's how it is for every card. So that, not only is that great to help you enhance your readings, but the questions at the back after each card, I was looking at these, and you know something, if I was to say this card is looking at this particular, where are we now, this is looking at, say, the Three of Pentacles, okay. Well, let's actually look at one of the majors. So if I was looking at the Hanged Man, for instance, a sacred pause, the intentions of the Hanged Man, a mantra for the Hanged Man. A Hanged Man is a bit like the Mercury retrograde of tarot cards. The Hanged Man appears in a challenging position. It goes in relationships, in careers, other possibilities, how it might manifest as a challenge, and then questions to consider. Now, what I do feel, I like to meditate with a card out of the Major Arcana. I will just take the Majors, and I have a deck that is just Majors, and I just pull one card, and that's the card I will focus on. Sometimes I choose a card, it depends how I'm feeling. Other times I will let the deck choose for me by picking it face down. And then looking at the questions, I like to look deeply at the card. These questions that come in here, how can you use this time to look at your situation from a different angle? So if there is a situation in your life and you pick this hangman and you decide to meditate on it, when you close your eyes, you have that image and you have that question in your head, and then just now and again jot a few notes down. It really does help you to solve your own problems. So questions like this from a book like this not only enhance your understanding of each card, but it gives you other tools too that you can use, say in meditation, that you can use when just doing a one card reading and you sort of using your intuition, pulling what you can put in. You thought, well, I'm not still quite sure. That's something great to use as a reference book. Go back, have a look, and say, yes, now I can see there's a little bit more. You know, it's great. There are just so many tools out there in this day and age when it comes to tarot that it's wonderful to be able to delve really deeply. And now in books that I have here, we're looking at numerology, we're looking at astrology, we're looking at the Kabbalah, we're looking at planets, we're looking at the Hebrew alphabet. There is just so much. And on top of all that, our tarot and our intuition. It's very, very rich. It's a lifelong process. I don't think any of us will ever be able to say, I know all about tarot. We might be exceptionally proficient at tarot. We might be able to, read cards as though it's just flowing off our tongues. But there's always something new to learn. And that's what I love about tarot. Folks, I'm going to leave you on that note. Thank you if you've stayed this long. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Whatever's happening in your life, I hope it's good. I hope any challenges that you've had to face, you've overcome. And I hope that what's to still come for you is only good. Take care, and I'll catch you soon. Bye now.